Oh, all right. Well, sometimes people will ask me, all right, the tall roofer is a roofer, but he is also just a straight up worker. Sometimes people will ask me, hey, how do you remove these? And of course, what a lot of people try to do is they try to push them back and forth, and then they're gonna come in like this, try to pull it out, and instead of pulling it out, they're gonna pull the back out. So I was just gonna show you a way that I do it, something that my dad taught me, and we were removing a back patio. We're trying. This was when I was in my 20s. So I don't know if you can see the tall roofer. Let's see here. Yeah, no. So this was, in my 20s, it was somewhat easier. But I'm getting up close to the big 5-0, and I'm not talking police. So, anyways, I just wrapped the chain around there a couple times. I'll grab my tractor jack, and I get to cranking, and sometimes the chain will slip off, but that's part of the deal. You kind of have to reset it. And then let's see if this will be an easy one. Of course, I'm videoing it now. I took it down about, I don't know, maybe 15 already, and they were relatively easy. So you got to catch that first little notch. See there, it slipped. And there it goes. So T-post removal, not T-pain, because if you try to do it the other way, I showed you where you pulling it out with your back muscles, you will be in a lot of pain, and then you will end up in the doctor's office, and then you'll be out of work for a while. Me, being the tall roofer, I cannot be down. I have to be active all the time. I can't go to my client's house and say, hey, by the way, I hurt my back, so can you grab my ladder out of my truck, and could you go ahead and walk the roof for me? Pretty sure that's never going to fly. So anyways, this is a way to do it. If it catches again, see if it catches. This one, of course, is giving me a little trouble. Sometimes they come out smooth. Maybe if you had someone here helping you out, maybe a junior tall roofer holding everything, it probably would go a little bit smoother, but he's actually watching YouTube while I'm creating YouTube content. So anyways, there we go. You can see how this T-post comes out, and we'll move on to the next one. And then, of course, watch your fingers on the drop. This will drop, it's heavy. Move this over to my next one. And then this comes out like that. Have the dirt down. T-post removal, tall roofer style. When I am wrapping this chain, I'll wrap it around, I guess, basically twice, and then I'll connect it on the third from the end to get a nice little room, a nice little bit of room from the T-post. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this around. I try to keep the S hook on the other side, but evidently I'm not connecting on the other side, so I'll connect it here, and then I'll put it around. But and I'll get my jack, which is a little on the heavy side, but it's okay. It's doing all the work, so it can be heavy. And then I'll start cranking this down. Oh, now I gotta lock it. There it is. Not catch it where I want to. I think I'm committed, so let's see what we got. Alright, this one might come out pretty easy. Look how it's just coming out. out. And no back breaking, pulling on it, hurting your lower back. This one actually kind of bent a little bit. I don't know if this is whatever. Yeah, just take the chain off and put it on your next T-post. And that should be that. So when I was removing this one, I threw my chain over here and I threw it right here on this little plant. I know Declan's already talked about it on his channel, but this is a bull nettle. I called it a bull thistle, which evidently is not an appropriate term, but they have all these little tiny hair thorns on there. And if you ever barely graze it, or it can go right through your jeans, oh my, the pain is almost instant. So watch out for these guys. Evidently it's not gonna hurt my chain, but okay, yeah, right here. All right, so let me do a tutorial. Right here, you'll see I basically wrap it around once, and as I come around again, I'll try to hook it on that third link, and then I'll rotate it to the back, and that will settle around the T-post. So it'll settle around the T-post, and then I'll pull up. So that's how it's done. You gotta watch out for this friend. I just showed you this bull nettle, and it's gonna kick it out at the stem. And yeah, I can't remove this. I'm getting myself. All right, and then I got another friend. These were all through our trees when we first moved here, and they basically choke a tree out. So all right, so now let me go ahead and wrap this chain around here. Glove somewhere. I'll go around once, twice, third link, and goes third link, and then I'll rotate it around, and I'll lift it up a little bit. Yep, it's heavy. So Tractor Supply isn't paying me for this, and I don't know if this jack is supposed to be used for this. So I guess read the warning labels and remove at your own risk. But anyways, we'll get this one coming up. Oh, yeah, that one slipped. It slipped a little bit. Let's see if we can catch this next. This one wants to be a little difficult. See, so I slipped here, I guess on the little notches of the T-post, and then I slipped the chain. So I'm going to drop the jack up a little bit, and then I'll lock it in place, and then I'll try again. I'm going to try it to the side of it instead of directly in front of it. Yeah. My chain is slipping. Let's try it again. Catch. Oh, there we go. I'm starting to get some movement. Pulling a lot of dirt up with this. That's all right. I'll wet it a little bit. There it is. Whew, it is hot here. All right, once again, I mean, I've seen, I think a lot of times you think, oh, I'm so strong, and I'll just wiggle it back and forth, and maybe I'll put some water down there and wiggle it back and forth again. But this is pretty deep, and it's got that arrowhead looking, I don't know, spade looking thing at the bottom of it. You can tell I know my terminology when it comes to T-posts. But yeah, that like I said, that's gonna get this right here. And once that's gone, you're done. You're done for a couple weeks. So, what does it say? Work smarter, not harder, or maybe just a little bit of both. So I'll go ahead and that wrap there, pretty solid wrap, if I say so myself. I'll go ahead and drop my lock right here, put it back in place. Now the dirt here is real soft, so I imagine that my base is going to start pushing down before I pull up. But eventually I'll reach more solid ground and go post up and that's where it's at. But yeah, I'm starting to break the dirt up. So I think there used to be an ant pile here, but yep, it slipped. Let's see if I can get it locked again. Okay, here we come. I think I got some pull on it now. Yeah, my hand's getting pretty close to the T-post. I'm going to move it because it's wedged in there. Maybe I'll move this on the other side of the T-post. There we go. It doesn't have to pull that way anyways. Just push against the T-post. Yep, we are making some headway on this one. There we go. Just felt it release. Pull it out now. Yep, it's already out. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Definitely help somebody out if they're trying to remove these T-posts and they're like, "How do I do it?" Well, you do it with the tractor jack. Makes it real easy, and you can walk the next day, and that's important. A tall roofer sharing a non-roofing tip today, and I like seeing all the likes and subscribes and whatnot, so if you could just maybe share this with somebody and maybe help them out. So that's it. Thank you so much. Thumbs up, like Delaney would say.